Hello everybody, welcome back to another Backcountry UTV video. Today our friends at Cerwin-Vega were nice enough to send us a kit for our Rzr. It's a 2022 XP 1000. This kit also includes two 6.5-inch speakers, one for each door, 10-inch subwoofer here. This is a Vega RPM series subwoofer, and the enclosure for it. This also has the dash mount and the controller, which is an RPM series CMR3, and the amplifier, which is an HRPM 360.4D, which is a 4-channel amplifier. Okay, now we are going to unbox the door panels. They come with some nice foam on them, that way nothing gets damaged in either shipping or packaging. And here they are right away. These also have LEDs in them, so you can customize them to light up whatever color you want them to be. Here is the other one, the exact same. It also comes with a bunch of wires and zip ties, so that is a nice detail that they include zip ties, that way you can wire manage. It also looks like everything here is going to be plug and play, so that is a nice detail as well. And that is everything that is in this box. Okay, now we have the RPM Rzr sub. This is going to be the enclosure. It's a 10-inch vented woofer enclosure, as it says. So it has really nice packaging on it. Everything here is in bubble wrap, so that is really nice. Here, as we take it out of the bubble wrap, this is all plastic. There is the nice foam padding inside. They also have a bag of hardware included. So this is what the sub will go into. Okay, here we have the 10-inch subwoofer. It has built-in RGB and LED lighting. It is the RPM 104 SL. It's a 10-inch high-powered marine grade subwoofer. As we open it, we have the nice manual, that way you know how to use it. They include cardboard on top, that way it can't get damaged. Several layers of cardboard. And here is the sub. It is a 10-inch sub, so it's pretty big. There's what the back of it looks like. And then that will sit in here, kind of like that. And then this is the vent for it. Also in here they include screws for it, I'm assuming to go into the enclosure here. And that is everything in the box. Okay, now we have the amplifier. This is the HRPM 360.4D. This is a 360 watt RMS waterproof 4-channel amplifier. Includes nice unboxing. Right away in the beginning, it gives you the manual for it. And there's nice foam on either side, that way nothing gets damaged. It gives you all the wires right away in back, and it also has the screws and an Allen wrench that fits those screws, so that is a nice touch as well. Okay, now we're unboxing the dash mount and also the center command control. here's the mount. It is all bubble wrapped nicely. This is plastic, so it'll be the same material that your dash is made out of. And then here is the control, which is a CMR3. It's an audio player slash receiver. It's also out of the RPM series. Right away, as soon as you open it, you have the manual. Also a bunch of foam on top. A few screws for it, and a few cords. Then it's more foam padding. And here's the display, so that will go right inside. As you can see, they already have the hole for it. In back here, there's the hole that will go through that. Okay, so here is the display. This was on the outside of the packaging. They have a nice protective layer of film over the lens that you can take off before. There's also many buttons from the fast forward and play, but there's also EQ, different modes, and there's also a menu button, and then of course your main volume switch. And then all your wires here will go to your speakers and your amplifier. Okay, so here we are. We're going to take out the dash and the glove box. Okay, so getting this center glove box out, it's a little tricky. There's a Torx bolt on top, and then in the bottom there's your blue cabin light that you kind of just pull out. So that's how you get this out. Okay, so now to remove this glove box, there are 3 Torx 20 screws. One right there, and then that one. Okay, next to remove this, you have 2 push pins in there. Just gonna remove them, and then you might have to... Okay, so once you're done getting hit by those 2 push pins, then you might have to squeeze the sides of this box a little bit to get it out. Or not. Okay, so in order to get this glove box out, you're going to need to take your first little cubby hole here out. In order to do that, there's going to be 2 screws that go right in there, and then you can kind of pull this out. There's little snaps on this side. You're going to have to pull that out, and then you can remove it out of the top. Yeah, if you only fit back in there for you. Oh, you get it back in there. You have to pull the shelf. That's the sides. Sides of the books. Can't take forever. Hold it. Like his, but it. Oh, side drop down. So hold it quick. Just really big. Yeah, so now it's got slide forward because the back is just pegs. To go forward, that's forward. I'll with it. Yep, then just leave it. Okay. So that's on the side. Put it down if you can. No, it's going to go. So put it down here. The back's got to go down first. So I'll let you back. What's going on? Okay, so here's the hole we made after taking out all of the glove boxes, or whatever you would want to call them. I guess some of them are just cubbies, but you can see you're right down to the floor. This will have to go back up into place. First you will need to get the sub box in there. Here's from underneath. So it created a pretty big hole there, but that'll get filled up by the sub box once that goes in there. Okay, so this is where we are going to mount the amplifier. This is, your glove box would be right here. So this is kind of just on the other side of it. The amplifier, you're going to need to drill some holes into this metal piece for. So in order to do that, you're going to need a right angle attachment. They do include some screws to go in there, so you can use those. This is where we chose to mount ours. There are a few different options. If you look up online, there's a few different options for a few different places, but this is where we chose to mount ours. Okay, so now we are going to mount the amp. We are going to do that right there behind the glove box. And in order to do that, you're probably going to need a right angle attachment to get in there, because this little firewall there kind of comes up, and the piece that we're mounting it on there is slanted, so that's going to make it a lot harder to get in there. They include some screws in there to mount it. If you don't like this mounting spot, there's also a few other options online. Just look them up and you can figure out which one works best for you, but this is where we are going to decide to mount ours. Okay, so here we have the amplifier installed. There is 6 slots for screws or bolts. They send you 4 screws. We ended up using bolts of our own to put in there. The little screws that they send can break off pretty easily, so we just went ahead and used bolts. And that is, it's a firm spot for it to go. It ain't gonna go anywhere, so it'll last there for probably as hard as you ride. Okay, so here we are. We're gonna mount the sub inside the enclosure. All the hardware is included to mount them. They give you these nice long Phillips screws. It would be kind of nice if they upgraded to Torx. That way you can't strip them out as easily. So we're going to install this, and then we will put it right where the glove box would go, like we showed before.
One thing that I will say that I really like about what they've done is on their sub here, they've got really nice connectors now. It's just simple push down, stick your wires in, and they spring up right away nice and tight. Boy, that's just really slick. I don't know how good they are for having your wires stay in there or not. Hopefully, I'm sure they've probably already figured that out. I haven't tried it yet here, but that sure makes wiring a breeze, and saves a whole lot of time when all you have to do is make a connection like that. That's really a good idea there. So for as much as we don't like using these Phillips screws for attaching the sub into the case, boy, they sure make up for it right here with these 2 connectors. I really like that. So with the RGBs that this subwoofer is capable of handling, just hook up right here with this harness. We do not have the controller to control the RGBs for the sub, so keep that in mind, that if you do get this sub, you'll have to get the controller module as well with it. I don't think it's a big deal to get. I don't think it's, what was it?
It's about $65 to get. So.
$65 for the RGB controller for it.
And that also lets you control it through your phone too. So you don't have to control it through like a module or a remote. You can control it through your phone.
Okay. So we're just gonna take that, unplug that, take that off for right now. If we want to use that in the future, that's just, I mean, we're going to keep this harness because all it is plug and play deal. Connect your 4 wires, your black, red, green, and blue, and to your controller, and stick your harness in here on the side, and boom, you're up and running. Like I said, we don't have that controller right now, so we're just going to unhook it, put it to the side, and If we ever want to go with RGB in the future here, we'll just pop this all off and with these screws, and we'll just hook it up then. So it's not a big deal to do it whenever. So, right? Yeah. Look at that. That's what's the options, you know. Right away here. Voice first. Easy.
Okay, so we wired up our door speakers. On the back of the amp there's a sticker for which cords go where. It would have been helpful maybe if they put that sticker on the front of the amp, that way you can read that all the time. But you just gotta make sure that you're plugging the right set of cords into each side. It is side specific, so gray ones go to a certain side and then the white set go to a different side. So that's how far we have here. That's how far we're going to get the wiring done before we are going to put these in, and then we will connect everything up. Okay, so here is the door where we are going to mount the speaker. It's going to be some Torx screws. Can be one there, 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 and then the two up there. So that is going to be the screws that you take out. Not sure if the back of the door is going to fall off, but you might want to watch out for that in case it does. Okay, so here we have the speakers installed in the doors. It's going to be all the same original hardware. So you're going to have these two right here. Those are for the latch, so you want to make sure that you get that all back to normal. And then the rest of them are just going to be like door skin screws, so your door skin will back off a little bit. It won't fall all the way off, but you'll want to make sure that you get them tight, that way your door skin isn't going to flap. We also routed our wires out the back here. They have nice little grommets underneath that you can use too, but we decided to go out the back. There's a lot of room out there. And then they include a push pin type screw. So it's kind of a push pin, and then there's a screw inside. That's maybe not the best design, but we think we got it to work. So that kind of just draws your speaker on the top closer to the outside of the door. Okay, so now we have mounted the sub. This attaches with the bracket there. This is going to be, right there would be your glove box, your center glove box. So this is going to be right where your old passenger side glove box would be, and that attaches with a little metal plate there, and then 4 bolts. For older options, I believe they include 2 of those metal plates there. With this newer model though, you can't use 2, you can only use 1. So that might be a little different depending on what machine you are installing this in. Okay, so once you are done with that, then you're going to want to tighten your sub down and push this front dash piece back into place. This just has a few snaps, I think 2 on each side, and then there's also some that go into the bottom of the sub there, so you're going to want to make sure those go in, and then you will have your 2 bolts that go right back up in there. Okay, so once you're done with that step, your next step is going to be to run your wires from your speaker and your power to the battery if you want to do that. So we just came from the speaker right down in here and then down into the tunnel here on both sides, and then we ended up cutting out a little notch there. That way we could run the wires up, and then that'll go right to your display. Okay, so now we put the little dash mount in. So that's where it goes in relation to steering wheel. It's gonna be right down there. At the bottom is where you have a little light that goes in there, right there. That you're probably gonna need to drill out the hole. That's a 3/8. And then for the top here, it mounts in with just a normal torque screw. And then that there's a metal bracket that goes in. It'll be the same one that you removed your center compartment there out of, and it'll go right in the same spot. Okay, so once you have the dash mount in there, you can set your actual display in there, and then test everything to make sure it works. Plug all your connections in, do all that. And then after that, they include 4 screws that go from your display into your mount. And then there's a cover to cover them up. And then after that, then you can put everything back together, put all the dash pieces on and all the glove compartments on, and finish up your installation. Okay, so this is with it in. As you can see, it's on, it's working. Sound is good quality through all the speakers. One thing that we didn't quite like is they don't come with all the right connectors on wires. There's some RCA cords that you're going to need in order to get the amplifier into the speakers to the head unit. So we didn't quite necessarily like that. Other than that though, the speakers sound great. It's pretty loud. We can't show any music due to copyright reasons, but other than that, it is pretty good. We want to say a big shout out to Cerwin-Vega. They were nice enough to get us this, so that way we can test it out, make a review and installation video. Look forward to more reviews coming in the future. Thanks again. Make sure to like and subscribe. It lets us know that you like to see these kinds of videos and reviews about products like this. And go ahead, link will be in the description to get yourself this kit or any other kit from the Cerwin-Vega website. So make sure you go head on down there if you're interested in a sound system. This installation was for a 2022 Polaris Rzr Xp 1000. It should be similar for most of the newer Razrs. The older Razrs it'll be different on. But thanks again for watching, and see you on the next video.